Alright, so Barcelona is going to be facing Osasuna for the Spanish Supercup semifinal. And fun fact, Barcelona will get 6 million euros for just the participation in the Spanish Supercup. The winner will get an additional 1.5 million euros and the runners-up will receive 1 million euro. And the two losing semifinalists will receive 250,000 euros each, according to Ferran Correas. So Barcelona do have a history of having great games in the Spanish Supercup. Like for example, in the previous one, we did play against Real Betis, and in that game we tied 2-2. We had to go all the way to penalties and Barcelona won 4-2. And then after that, Barcelona had to face against Real Madrid in the final. And that was a game where we saw like a masterclass performance, probably one of the best performances that we have seen coming from Xavi's Barcelona, which ended 3-1. And it was the strongest that we have ever looked. And just look at that team, right? You can see that we had Lewandowski as the striker, Xavi on the left wing, Pedri as the 10, Dembele on the right wing, with Busquets and Frankie de Jong in the double pivot position, with our backline being Araujo, Koundé, Christensen, and Alejandro Balde, with Ter Stegen in goal. And that was also the day where we discovered just how great Xavi could be. Like, he was really the real deal. Now, unfortunately, for this game against Osasuna, we will not have Xavi. And yes, we have lost some players from this starting 11 that we had about a year ago, and we have some players who are underperforming. Like, for example, we have Dembele gone, Pedri is not 100%, Busquets is gone, Lewandowski is underperforming, Xavi is out until the preseason of next season. And so it's very unfortunate. The Barcelona that we saw a year ago is not as strong as the Barcelona that we see today. And with the loss of Xavi, I really wished Xavi was here, because we have to remember what Xavi did against Real Madrid on that final. He scored a goal, he assisted Lewandowski, and assisted Pedri. So Barcelona is going to the Spanish Super Cup without Xavi. And if you guys are wondering what exactly is going on with Xavi and his injury that he's currently in, we do have some updates according to Sport that Xavi's recovery is going better than expected, and in a month he will take a step forward. The goal is to be fit in preseason. He could be fit in June too, but Spain have made it clear that he will not be called up for the Euros or the Olympics. And so everything is going well as expected. And even if we see like Xavi returning and he's training with the Barcelona players, it does not mean that he'll be able to play in like a real competitive match. Even if he's training during like June and July with Barcelona and the season is over, he cannot play in the Euros or in any other competition. So when we look at the squad list here, you can see that we have Joao Cancelo, Balde, Araujo, Inigo Martinez, Ferran Torres, and many other players. So we do have some surprise appearances. Like for example, we have Cancelo, Inigo Martinez, and Pedri. 3 players that were not even supposed to be here in the squad list, but they're traveling to Saudi Arabia. As of now, they don't have the green light, but I feel like eventually we will hear some updates on these 3 players. Most likely we could see Pedri receive some minutes. Many sources have been claiming that Pedri could actually feature in the match. Now, regardless whether Pedri makes it or Inigo Martinez or Joao Cancelo makes it, I think the main reason why these 3 players are going is because Xavi Hernandez wants to bring these players to celebrate with Barcelona in case Barcelona actually do win. But like I've said, there is great optimism for Pedri. There's a big chance that we could see Pedri receive about 15 to 20 minutes. And I think that we are probably going to see Pedri come in for Fermin Lopez. Fermin Lopez will be the player that will start in that midfield. And that is also going to be another player that is going to be talked about later in this video, because I really do expect him to deliver. Now, stepping away from this match just for a moment, right, I want to speak about what's going on the other side. We have Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid playing against one another. They will be playing in about like 12 to 18 hours, maybe even less. So we can safely say that Barcelona do have the easiest opponent in this tournament. I'm not saying that this opponent is going to be easy, but we have the easiest opponent. I mean, look, defensively, Osasuna is not good. They allow about 1.5 goals per 90 minutes. But in the attack, Osasuna do very well. Like for example, as we see here, in terms of accurate long balls per match, Osasuna is in second place. They're really good at distributing long balls. When it comes to accurate crosses per match, Osasuna is in third place. And so you can see that one of their strengths is to make those like long passes, whether it's from the defense to their attack or from wide areas, in order for them to score a goal through a corner or through a cross. And that is something that Barcelona have to be very like careful of, because we know that right now defensively they're not well. And we have seen Barcelona concede way too many goals off of the opposition making these long balls or making crosses from outside the box, and the defense just looks lost. And so if Osasuna know this and they know their strengths and they know Barcelona's weaknesses, they can give a real threat to this Barcelona team. And Barcelona have to be very very careful, because another stat that has been shown regarding Osasuna is that they're really good in the air, which is why I believe they're displaying so many long balls and so many crosses. As we can see this stat here, Osasuna is in first place in La Liga in terms of aerials won, and then comes Real Sociedad, Mallorca, Getafe, and then Sevilla. So there is a way for Osasuna to tackle this. Barcelona just have to be very careful. So I want Barcelona to go all in and to win, because I think that it is also going to bring great confidence to the players, confidence that these players do need, because we're not having a good run of games. Like, yes, we have been receiving 3 points in La Liga, maybe getting points there in the Champions League, but it's not convincing. And in this tournament, we have a chance to make ourselves feel like actual champions and then start building this momentum. But in order to do that, we have to do 2 things, right? 2, we need to be very focused and also like display the best possible 11, right? We can't give like these chances to Oriol Romeo or like these chances to a player that doesn't seem fully fit. We have to bring our best possible 11, and Xavi Hernandez knows this very well, which does lead us towards our next conversation. What is the best possible 11 that we could display? And I think that Iñaki Peña will be in the goalkeeper position. There's no chance that Ter Stegen is going to be playing at all. He wasn't even taken to Saudi Arabia. But here's the thing though, with Iñaki Peña, he hasn't been like 100% convincing. He has had some bright moments, but there are some times where we're like, okay, you know, he looks a little nervous when he gets pressured. And I think that we're starting to see like what Iñaki Peña is actually really good at and what he's not good at. Like, for example, Iñaki Peña knows how to block a lot of shots. We have seen that multiple times in many games. But when it comes to like him having the ball on his feet and the opposition is pressing him, and then he needs to pass it to like one of the defenders, whether it's Koundé, Araujo, or Inigo Martinez, or Christensen, or Balde, or Cancelo, Iñaki Peña gets really nervous and he makes like a misplaced pass sometimes, and Barcelona have to suffer from there. And so what we have to do against Osasuna on this night is to give Iñaki Peña a lot of support. We need a lot of defenders surrounding Iñaki Peña, giving him options, because we know that he's not good with his feet on the ball. Ter Stegen is. Ter Stegen knows exactly how to use his feet. He knows how to make long passes. He's good under pressure, but Iñaki Peña is he just another goalkeeper with different skill sets, and we have to be very well aware of that. So we have to position ourselves defensively like really good against Osasuna. And so of course the best possible defensive line that we could place is Koundé on the right back position, Araujo in the center back position, Christensen as the center back also, and Alejandro Balde as the left back. Even though, like, yes, I have said that Cancelo is a player that was taken to Saudi Arabia, I don't see him playing. I think that Balde will start. Maybe there could be a chance. I don't know. But I think that out of all players, Pedri has the most chances. But with Cancelo, no. I think Balde will be starting. As for our midfield, I think that we will see Gundogan, Frankie as the double pivot with Fermin Lopez as the number 10. Very similar to what we saw with Pedri against Real Madrid last year. He will be the sole creator. He'll be the one connecting the attacking line and our double pivot. And I think that this is also going to allow for Fermin Lopez to make a name for himself, because we have seen Pedri make a name for himself through many great matches. We have seen Xavi do the exact same thing, and in the Spanish Supercup, I think that it's time for Fermin Lopez to have that definitive great game where when you come out of the match, many people are going to be talking about you. Fermin Lopez needs that, because we know he has the capability to do so. He knows how to score, he knows how to pass, he knows how to defend in the middle of the pitch, he knows how to give a lot of pressure to the opposition. Fermin Lopez has it all. He has good arrival inside the box, and so I expect him to have that type of show against Osasuna, is to be that player that might potentially score. I do see Fermin Lopez scoring against Osasuna because of what he could do. We saw that against that one other team in the Copa del Rey, Barbastro, I believe. And Fermin Lopez has great arrival in the box. Frankie de Jong just has to look for that player and for that run. And for our front three, I do expect to see Rafinha on the right wing because it is fully deserved. He can score goals, he can provide assists, he hustles, he defends, he does everything. I'm so happy for Rafinha. As for our striker, I do see Lewandowski in the number 9 position, with our left winger being most possibly Ferran Torres. I know that there's going to be some debates going on whether we should have either Joao Felix or Ferran Torres. I think that it will be Ferran Torres because he simply just puts out much more defensively. And I know that Joao Felix will be someone humongous for this tournament. I think that he will get his chances. But for now, I think that Ferran Torres has to be starting. As for the other players, like I've said, I think that Pedri will come in for Fermin Lopez. I do expect to see maybe we could see Cancelo come in. I doubt it though. For sure, we will see Vitor Roque though. Vitor Roque will definitely come in for either Lewandowski or Ferran Torres. We have seen Xavi Hernandez say that, you know, having Lewandowski and Vitor Roque playing together, they're compatible. They can play together at the same time simultaneously. We don't have to switch one out for the other. And so we could see either thing. We could see Vitor Roque on the left wing or as a striker. Ideally, I would like to see Ferran Torres stay and play on the left wing with Vitor Roque as the striker. And I would like to have Rafinha, Vitor, and Ferran But again, I'm not the coach. Xavi Hernandez might see something different. We'll see. I think that Vitor Roque is also in a very similar position to the one of Fermin Lopez. This could be a game to prove yourself, to showcase to the world who you are and why Barcelona signed you. It would be the perfect moment for every Barcelona fan to see Vitor Roque score against Osasuna and then go to the final and then have him score another goal. So it's going to be very exciting regardless. And that is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.